Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode...
Na. We're in the top 5, looking good in top 5. Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. And I'm joined in a virtual room filled with some Lions. I have got Ollie, I've got Berth. Chris, he was on rotation on Friday, and now we've rotated him out the squad to bring in two Lions to 2 for 1. Because Chris could be all of us. He really can. He is the creation of all of us. He's amazing. But I want to know what your 2 moments of the weekend were. Well, you two, your moments weekend.
Oh, what was my...
It's been a long one.
I had a pretty quiet weekend, to be honest with you.
I don't necessarily have one for the weekend, but I do have one for the week when I wasn't here.
I
was at a friend's wedding last week. A good friend of mine's wedding, and I got to chatting with one of his friends who I didn't know, who is a massive Chelsea fan.
Nice.
Who also updated me on the score of the Djurgarden game during the game. Thankfully not during the ceremony or anything. But yeah, so shout out to you, Josh. I said I'd shout you out on the pod, and I hope you hear this, buddy, and I hope you're doing well.
Is he a friend of the show now? Or...
I know.
He has to be, doesn't he? Yeah, I guess he is.
Yeah, he's got. Yeah, definitely.
Well, today I saw Thunderbolt. I won't spoil anything. I'm just going to say I saw the Marvel film Thunderbolts today. It's, for me, best film since Guardians 3. And then I'll leave it there because I don't want to spoil it. And it's only been out a couple of days, so no more spoilers. But one thing I will say is my actual highlight was Burnley. Burnley, because they sealed their promotion back to the Premier League in style. And that was in style because they had Natasha Bedingfield partying in the dressing room. Yes. That one. And you know what? I'm going to cue a VT. Staring at the black days before you, open up the dirty window. Best part is she's actually there.
You know what's funny about this clip?
What?
So Ollie actually texted me separately and said Ollie was going to sing it on this podcast tonight, and he's ready to do it now. So Ollie, you just take it away.
Ollie,
Oh god, nobody's listening anymore.
We've done that thing again, haven't we, where we just talk absolute shit.
You know what? I did some digging into this because I wanted to know where this even happened, how this happened. Apparently, Burnley players have been using that song unwritten as a unofficial post-win anthem, all season long. And
incredible post-win anthem.
I was really hoping that Natasha Bedingfield is a real die-hard Burnley fan.
Well, she is now.
Away. And she isn't. I was really hoping she's a proper die-hard fan, but she isn't.
She is now. She wasn't there during, she wasn't there polishing Sean Dyche's head when he was there, but she is a fan now. She's part of the club now. This is the sort of thing I absolutely love. This is why clubs get their culture and certain things that they are just about. And I think it's brilliant.
I just wish someone interviewed her and go, "Oh, who's your favourite Burnley player?" She goes like someone like Scott Arfield or something ridiculous like that.
All I'm thinking, right. We've got Burnley players singing unwritten. So Natasha Bedingfield comes in. You've got Scott Parker's the meme thing when he with Mike Skinner from Mike Skinner with the Streets.
Park Life, weren't it? It's Park
Life,
weren't it?
The Streets.
You sure?
Dry your eyes.
Some days.
No, I can't play it. It's copyright. But Mike Skinner's famous Birmingham artist.
He is.
His songs are literally all about Birmingham. So if you want, but yeah, I thought it was amazing. Shevva shoutouts. What have I got? I have a review. Very rare we get reviews now, but Apple Podcast Daz 5180 not only my favourite Chelsea podcast, but my favourite podcast. Always look forward to new episodes coming out and love the chemistry between the guys. Keep up the great work. Thank you,
Daz.
We love reviews.
Big up, Daz.
Now we go to the Spotify comments.
Here we go.
Oh dear.
McFounds went with, I don't understand how you think we will get worse by keeping the manager. Jesus Christ. Before the season started, you all thought we'd be 10th. I actually said 8th. I just want to make that. I think I said 7th or 8th. And now top 5 isn't good enough. Answer for this shit, because it just sounds like you're all complaining over absolutely nothing. Look, I can't remember this. This was like, sounds like an episode ago, so I can't remember. I am very happy if we finish top 5. I think Chris, because funnily enough, the next Spotify comment was Corey saying, "So agree with Chris." That could be on anything. You know, I agree with Chris on a fair bit. He felt that it papered over cracks if we got top 5 and won the Conference League. That's what Chris was getting at. I understand that argument, but I also understand that if we keep playing like we did against Liverpool, again, we know the asterisks there. I don't see why we couldn't improve under Maresca. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to complain if we finish top. If we finish top 5, is that good enough? Yeah, because that's the target. The target's Champions League. If we don't finish in the top 5, then I feel the argument is that season wasn't good enough. Then I would it's all about that top 5 position. Fact. That's my opinion.
I think anything less than Champions League and the Conference League victory, then that is a disappointing season. So,
yeah, sounds about right, doesn't it?
Alexander from Las Vegas, who said, "Top episode as always. Just wanted to say that I had really rough day Friday, and getting to listen to your guys really got my spirits back up. The back and forth banter and snide little jokes between each other always makes me laugh and feels like I'm sitting with my mates having a laugh. Thanks again, and always up the Chelsea." Well, we're glad we helped your day have a little bit of a shine to it at the end. So that's really important.
100%, yeah. It doesn't sound like me and Ollie, though, giving each other snide
comments. Definitely not. Especially not about cricket.
Shut it, Ollie.
KP, only reason we are in this competition is because of the previous manager who did not get us Europa League. Chris, that is your manager, Poch. Also, compared to last year, we have improved massively defensively. We have Enzo Palmer, our top 2 in chance creation. Everything is not luck. He has done more with what he has had. Yeah, defensively, we are much better than the Poch season. It's fact. It's right in front of you. Stats. Fact.
I completely agree with that. But also at the same time, the only reason we didn't get Europa League last season was because Man United won the FA Cup or something, right? Like, wasn't that it? So, it's unfortunate timing more than anything else.
Yeah. And L House 75, it's the end for Maresca. He came out in favour of senior signings, and now there's a leak that the board has split on bringing him back. I saw that. I found that very interesting. I don't think our board can agree on anything. I don't think they could agree on their own pizza order. They seem to be divided on everything, from the stadium, signings, everything else.
Honestly, just get half and half. That's what everyone else does.
You can't get half a player. I mean, we had João Felix and we got rid of him, so that's
to be fair, he was half shit, half awful. So,
oh man, what a fall off! He's just what a drop off. I mean, he's been linked with Flamengo, which great. I love that club in Brazil. Jorginho's going there as well. Wow, what a drop off for João Felix. Fucking hell. Anyway, news. Absolute massive news broke on Saturday. Massive. By massive, I mean that we saw it coming. We already knew it was going to happen. That's according to Sky Sports in Germany and Florian Plettenberg. Christopher Nkunku has decided to leave Chelsea this summer. I can't believe it. Honestly, though, based on his body language and performances, I think he made that decision back in January.
I think he made that decision back in October. To be honest with you.
Oh my word! Where do we think he goes, and how much can we realistically expect in return?
I don't care what we get for him as long as we get rid of him. And where does he go? I reckon he probably goes back to Germany.
Bayern's been linked. So have Arsenal, Liverpool, which is very different to Bayern.
I do think he'll go to a big club. Weirdly, I know that sounds ridiculous, but I think he'll go to a big club.
Arsenal.
And I think he'll be for a fair bit. I don't think we're going to get any profit from it, but I think we'll get 50 million, 60 million for him.
Really? You think we'll get the money back?
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be that high. I think we'll get 40 million from absolute tops. I think his stock's died so much.
I'm putting a biscuit bet on the line. I think he'll make minimum 50, 60
go
million.
Go on then.
Wow. I mean, I could see. I think he'll go to Germany. I mean, he's going to turn 28 this year in November, so he's 27 before he turns 28. Simple math.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's how it worked.
Which, you know what? Some people argue about it.
They do.
So transfer marks have him roughly at about 45 million euros. I don't think we sell him for more than 40 million pounds. I really just don't.
He will get sold for more than
Yeah,
that.
but you're
There's
buying
no
on what he was, not who he is now. And let's be honest.
Yeah,
if
it would
we
take
bought
someone
a player,
taking a massive punt on him at this point,
yeah,
surely.
Imagine if Chelsea, if we think of as a collective here, if Chelsea paid a big fee for a player based on who they were at a previous club than their current club were buying them from, you would be killed in the media for that. You would be like,
let me ask you, Bert. What would you pay for Nkunku right now? Say he had the exact same season he's just had, but somewhere else. What would you pay?
No, but I'm not in charge of a football club.
No, but I know. But I want, like you said, like you think you get 50 odd million from him. So would you buy him for that much?
I mean, I wouldn't personally, but like I said, times are different and it's a different climate as far as transfers go. You're going to get a Liam Delap being sold in the summer for about 30, 40 million, most likely.
That's his release fee.
Exactly. And I'm not, they're not going to sell him for less. Like, they're not going to take a hit on Nkunku, let's be honest, because he's still a half decent player. It's not like he's been, he ain't been in great form, but he's still a talented guy. So it's not like he's going to be sold for 20 million or 30 million.
I don't know.
So,
he's on a lot of money though, isn't he? Like,
he is on a lot of money, but it's not going to be. I can see what
I
can see a loan deal being sorted.
Oh no, not them again.
And then
you know what? You're fully right. Get his wages off the books or partially off the books for a year or two, and then he goes for a cut price deal somewhere in the end. That'll be what it is.
In other news, we had the end of season awards at Chelsea. They happened last night. The winners, I've got the winners in front of me. I've got PFA Community Champions. That was Millie Bright and Marcus Bettinelli. I've got Women's Academy Player of the Season, Lola Brown. I'm saying this as if they're in the room with me. They are not in the room with me. None of these people are in the room with me.
Are you sure?
No, definitely not. Millie Bright is not behind me, just about to come onto the show and tell us all about the award. I've got Men's Academy Player of the Season. No shock, it was Tyreek George. Women's Players Player of the Season, Natalie Bjorn. Men's Players Player of the Season was Caicedo. Women's Player of the Season was Erin Cuthbert. And Men's Player of the Season was Moises Caicedo again. You know what? I couldn't argue with any of that. I mean, you can't really argue with the players. They've chosen. I think Erin and Moises are two incredible shouts. I think they were.
That's who I voted for.
Yeah. I would agree. I can't disagree. Them Caicedo 100%, Cuthbert 100%. I say 99% because Sandy Baltimore has had an incredible season for us. Like, fresh into the league as well.
Yeah, I think that's not.
It's got to be Cuthbert. It's got to be Cuthbert.
Well, you know what? Okay, here's a question for you. If those two players didn't get it, who would you give it to?
Oh, okay.
Cucurella?
Cucurella.
Cucurella's been consistent.
Cucurella would get it for the men, but
I'll tell you what. Say it quietly for the men's. Say it very quietly because we could get some hate. What about Enzo Fernandez?
Yeah. I wouldn't disagree.
Chris is turning in his grave. He's not dead.
I'm just saying.
No, I wouldn't disagree there. I think for the women, oh man,
for women,
Aggie's been very good. Aggie's been very good.
Maybe Myra.
Yeah. She has taken a bit. See, I'm having to stick with Sandy Baltimore because of the fresh in the league. She's not got any WSL experience, and she's just walked into this like she's always played in this division.
Yeah, that's very true.
Insane. I really do.
Maybe Mika Hermano. She's been excellent as well.
Yeah, that's true. It's yeah.
There's a lot of good runner-ups, but I think Cuthbert takes it, pretty overwhelmingly.
Oh, what did I say when she hasn't played? I think it was like along the lines of, this is a long time ago I said this. We dropped points for the first time. It's like Cuthbert wasn't on the pitch, and when she comes on, we play up a level. So, yeah, fully deserved. Kingsmeadow Corner, talking of the women, we took on Spurs in the WSL. And it was Spurs 0, Chelsea 1. And now Chelsea are 1 away from history. 1 away. Thoughts on the game, team? I haven't got many, so please help me.
It's a bit of a boring game, wasn't it?
It was
A little
very,
bit.
very boring. It wasn't a classic, was it?
No, it's certainly not. Decided by a Cat Macario penalty in the. Can't remember. Was it the second half? I can't even remember. But it was. It was. We weren't great. I think it was probably a bit of a hangover from having won the league against Man United. I don't think there's really that much more to say. It was Spurs and we won. Do you know what I mean?
Standard Chelsea Spurs game then.
Yeah, exactly.
Look,
Yeah.
The thing is, for me, we've just wrapped up the title and we've rotated the squad heavily, and this was just one of those games. It's not memorable, but it'll be one of the 22 that made up the 24-25 WSL title win season. Yep. That's literally what it is, and it's sort of also, if you're expecting incredible performances, I just want to point out that when you rotate a team heavily, you can't. It's not FIFA. The chemistry, there's chemistry there, of course there is. However, it's not as fluid and as quick, sharp, and everything on fifth gear as the main starting 11. That's just normal. It's to be expected. I think my main takeaway from this game was both goalkeepers impressed me. Liz Kopp had a standout game for Spurs.
Yeah, she was very good.
Oh, some few sharp saves that basically stopped us running up the score, and we're now just 2 games away. That's what's left of our season. We've got Liverpool this Saturday to finish the league campaign and hopefully make history, and then we've got the FA Cup final against Manchester United on the 18th of May. That's literally Kingsmeadow,
and that's
for
the treble. That's going to be a really important
domestic
game.
Treble.
Yeah, so it's we've fallen one short from not being able to get the Champions League, but treble would be the next best thing.
Yeah,
I'm beaten as well.
I'm looking forward to it. I've already spoke about the Champions League. I spoke to one of my friends who's an Arsenal fan, and they were like, "Oh, I'm confident going into the Champions League final." I'm just like, "You're so fucked." I'm sorry. I just don't see anything than Barcelona walking over that Arsenal team, because Barcelona. If you thought Aston Villa was tough, we've been humbled. We've been humbled by Barcelona because they are the prime standard.
Sad.
That's what it is.
Just boring, it now. They just need to grow up.
Yeah, well, look at me. I'm Barcelona women. I win all the time. Boring.
Yeah, I agree.
Finish fourth. Please finish fourth. Yeah, that's Kingsmeadow Corner, because it was one of those games. Very, very forgettable, unfortunately. Hopefully, Liverpool will be more entertaining, beneficial for us. If it is, because then we get to talk more about this incredible team, and obviously we'll get to celebrate the title properly. We'll get to go through it next week. So we're going to head to winners and losers now, because we welcomed the champions Liverpool to Stamford Bridge. Fresh off their Premier League title parade and still drunk on confetti, rolled into West London looking like a tribute band covering their own set list. Arnie Slot rotated 6 into the lineup, and it showed like a barbershop quartet missing the baritone. Chelsea, they smelt blood, and Curtis Jones slipping on a banana peel. From that stumble bloomed the opener. Pedro Neto channeled his inner ASMR YouTuber with a feather soft cross. Enzo Fernandez ghosted in, and boom, goal number 20 of the season for the Argentine string puller. Madueke had a goal chalked off thanks to Nicholas Jackson's loose relationship with the offside line, while Caicedo hit the bar with the kind of cross that screamed, "Oops," but we'll take it. The second half brought some more chaos. Palmer channeled prime Eden Hazard with a run that ended in pinball carnage. Virgil van Dijk's clearance rebounding off Kwanzaa for a comedic own goal. Palmer then rattled the post again just to remind us he's got sauce for days. Van Dijk tried to course correct with a header, but Caicedo pounced on a hospital pass like a tax auditor in April, winning a penalty. Palmer, ice in his veins, and 12-game drought in the rearview buried it. And just like that, Chelsea are back in the Champions League hunt, level on points with Newcastle, while Liverpool were left staring into the middle distance, wondering if they'd actually shown up or just dreamt the whole game. Oh, Chelsea 3. Chelsea scored 3 goals and Liverpool scored just the 1. Oh, winners and losers. As we always kick off with, who have you got and how many have you got?
I got 4 and 2.
I got 3 and 2 because
what's going on? What is going on? 3 and 3. They're the rules. It's 3 and 3.
Yeah, except when it's not.
No. Ollie. You can't just say except when it's not. No, it's 3 and 3.
No, like now, except when it's not. Like exactly like now, it's 4 and 2.
No, I get what you're saying, Ollie, but what you're not understanding is it's 3 and 3.
Yeah, except when it's not.
No, Ollie, it's just Mikey. Can you help me out here?
You know what I'm going to help you out with? Before we do winners and losers, I would like to just... No, you know what? I'll do it in a bit. And you'll see why. I'm going to go straight away with my first winner. First winner, because... Oh, welcome back, Romeo Lavia. But I'm welcoming you back to the Stat Drop Club. Romeo Lavia versus Liverpool. 100% pass accuracy. 4 of 7 ground duels won. 2 clearances, 2 tackles, 1 interception. He did not miss a single pass against Liverpool. Not a single pass was misplaced. Masterclass. And we are a different side of him in the team. His press resistance is insane. The way he breaks the line is insane. Those forward passes are refreshingly insane. We need him fit the rest of this season and next season, no question about it. He's now on 2 games this season. Well, since I made this biscuit bet, and we have 3 points from those 4 games so far. So I'm winning so far, just closely. Oh, I'm a happy boy. 1 for my biscuit bet and for him. What a performance, team.
Definitely.
Yeah, he was on my winners list. To be fair,
What was on yours, bro?
He's just really good. Like, he's actually really, really good. When he stays fit, obviously, but when I said it on the chat yesterday. When he plays, we are a better team, and that's just a fact. His press resistance is phenomenal. Like, he can literally turn on a sixpence.
He turns
really,
like there's
really
no
good.
gravity, doesn't he?
But he's so composed on the ball. His passing is good. He wins the ball back. He's quick. Really, you have to, this could be an outrageous shout from me, but I think he's more important that we keep him fit than a Reece James.
Oh, 100%. That's not a hot take. That's fact. He's when he plays, we are a totally different Chelsea Football Club.
He makes a big difference, doesn't he? Like, he seems to like him dropping deeper and like being so press resistant. It allows Enzo to get up the pitch more. It allows there to be like an extra player because Palmer's not like playing as deep. So there's a couple of extra players up. Which means we can like isolate the wingers more. Like it makes the whole way we play easier.
And you know what else I really liked about him? When he got took off, he just started giving Liverpool fans some shit. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, big.
Really enjoyed that. But we have to keep him fit because he's so good. He's so young as well. Just got to wrap him up in cotton wool.
Yeah. Yep. Buff. Ollie, did you have him on your list?
Sort of. I had the midfield actually, just in general as my winner, because I thought all 3 of our midfielders were absolutely phenomenal. Moises Caicedo, I mean, what more can you say about him? You know, he was an absolute monster in the game, going from right back all the way up to left wing to win the penalty. You know, he's filling in midfield as and when he can, picking out passes, breaking up play, and kept Luis Diaz quiet all night. You know, so like it's. Yeah, really, really good performance from him. And Enzo Fernandez, you know, to score the goal really early on to get us into the game, pinging passes about the place, you know, really controlled the game, I thought, in a lot of moments, and picked his passes really nicely. So, yeah, I can't fault any of them. I think it was 10 out of 10 for all 3 of them. It's the best midfield I've seen us play in ages.
You know what's actually like what you could argue that Maresca has done this season better than Poch did is that he's got that Caicedo and Enzo combination working a lot better and more fluid than Pochettino did.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And that's the thing; they're all 3 Liverpool players. Sorry, we beat them to the punch to sign all 3, didn't we? Keep forgetting that. Buff, second winner for me, please.
Cole Palmer.
He's on my list,
isn't it? Yeah,
he's definitely on my list.
Boy, was he good yesterday. He was
He looked
good
pissed
yesterday.
off, didn't he?
He had a point to prove yesterday, and boy, did it. I'm so glad he got that goal as well. He deserved it. The movement, I know Gary Neville pointed it out, but the movement for the first goal
is all him. Yeah.
Do you know how special you have to be to make someone break their ankles by just a bit of movement? You don't have the ball at your feet, but a little bit of movement, and he's put Curtis Jones on his arse. That is something I've not ever seen a player do before, and that is a ridiculous skill to have. But not only that, his passing was unbelievable. Moved the ball quickly. His change of pace was really good. He's really unlucky when he hit the post, and it looked like a Cole Palmer performance. He looked like he was at the races yesterday, and he is our best player. I don't care what anyone says. He is our best player. And I know people say he's been shit this season. He's got 15 Premier League goals. If that's his shit season, then I'm sorry.
Can't wait to see him next season when he's even better. Yeah. For sure.
Cool as ever. Yeah, I just felt normal. Obviously, shit happens. I know it's going to.
You know, shit happens. You know, he reminded everyone exactly who the hell he is. You know, we hold him as a show. I think fans do as well, to a high standard because of last season. You know, and rightly so. That's not a bad thing. And this year, he's had spells where he's looked like a shadow of himself from last season. And honestly, he has, we have to be fair, one of our weakest performers at times. Against Liverpool, that was the Cole Palmer. He was electric. He was a constant threat. It's easily his best showing, easily his best game of 2025. And look, when it comes to form, shit happens. Yeah, he's right. Football's messy. This was the bounce back we need to see, because there was times in that game. What about when he was on the touch just close to the far, what I don't know what you call it, the sideline, whatever, you get what I mean. And he manages to beat a Liverpool player. I forgot which one, and he curls it with the outside of his boot, left foot, and it just hits the post. How that didn't go in? Oh my word! What a goal!
It was Conor Bradley. It was Conor Bradley, by the way. He was rapid. He's not slow at all, and he just walked past him like he wasn't even there.
Do you know what? He had a good game as well, that Conor Bradley.
He did, yeah. He looked a lot better than Trent did.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think they're going to miss Trent now. You know, of course, it's been announced today that he's going. But seriously, because I think Bradley is just as good.
Yeah, I agree.
Not in the same way.
Now, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I totally agree with that.
I don't think they'll miss him. Is my point. But yeah, Palmer was absolutely incredible. I think it was almost a perfect game for him for a lot of reasons. Because one, the performance, he looked so much better. Exactly like you said, it was the Cole Palmer we all know. The clever flicks and tricks. He was playing in his zone, like on the right hand side of the edge of the penalty area. He was making nice passes. Like I said, little flicks and tricks around the place. Really, really good actual range of passing. There was one, if I remember rightly, he turned around and sort of does it as he turns around and just perfectly pings a ball on the floor, maybe 20, 30 yards into the path of, I think it was Noni or maybe Neto at the time, right in behind the player. It was a really good pass. He just looked really, really up for it. He was getting in all the right positions. Obviously gets his goal as well with the penalty, which is great for him because not only does he score a goal, he shakes the rust off from the last one that he missed. And on top of all that, he got man of the match as well. So how
could you not? How could you not give him man of the match? Because let's be honest,
he was
head and shoulders. He was head and shoulders above everyone yesterday.
Honestly, when he is on it, there is nobody like him.
I mean, his season so far, the best ever Premier League season for Saka, 25 goals and assists. Foden's
he's got 23, I think, isn't he?
23, and Foden had 27, who I still stand by it. One of the most overrated players in the world. Sorry, stand by it. Anyway, less about my agendas. Ollie, who's your third Palmer?
Third winner for me is Enzo Maresca.
Oh my, same.
Yeah, I think he definitely deserves his flowers, especially Palmer after the game in the post match comments. Said in the interview, I believe he said that the manager set them up well and he thought the plan was good and it really sort of worked to everyone's strength. That's a direct sort of evidence of the manager doing something and working in a big game. It's the best game I think Maresca has managed for us. Certainly this calendar year, but probably this season as well, because it's the first time we've beat a big team that isn't Spurs in fucking ages. Or the Man United game last season. I think he set us up perfectly right. And we really capitalised on it and made it a hard day for Liverpool, who were a little bit on the beach, but at the same time you can only play what's in front of you, and we took the game seriously. We took that guard of honour and we shoved it right. We showed them where to shove it.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, what I'd say.
Hello there,
Mr. Enzo Maresca, because you are on my winners list because there's no agenda. I told you, listeners, there's no agenda here. I've been critical of Maresca because, quite frankly, again, I said about Palmer, I expect high standards at Chelsea Football Club, but credit where it's due. Maresca nailed it. He nailed yesterday. You know, the Caicedo at the right back experiment that inverts into midfield with Lavia, that's genius. It works. It's much better than Reece James. It just it clicks perfectly. Tactically, he outclassed Arnie Slot. Simple. I mean, this is what we forget is it's been 4 years about a win over Liverpool.
It's a long time.
You know, how is that? That's got to be probably, is that 5 managers if we include Bruno? That's, you know, technically, obviously, Maresca's the first manager because we obviously didn't beat them the first time we played him. Obviously, that's Poch. That's 2. Bruno, technically. Graham Potter. 4 years puts us at Tuchel, doesn't it? Is that right?
I think it does.
Roughly, just on the border.
Did Tuchel beat? Yeah, because he beat them away from home, didn't he, in the COVID season?
But we still haven't won since. That's the
it's poor,
rivalry that's. I mean, it's been one-sided, you know, and now it's finally over. Just take a bow, Enzo, because you have earned those flowers. It's worked, and you know the momentum's with us, and I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm very excited. Berth, who's done your final winner? Well, you got 2, haven't you? 2 more.
No, so I had Palmer and Lavia.
Okay.
My third winner is Levi Colwell because I thought he was very good yesterday.
He was very good.
And what I noticed, I don't know if it is from Maresca or what, I don't know if you boys picked it up, but there were times where Colwell was our furthest forward player pressing. And I really like that. I really, really like that.
He's got more an aggressive streak in his game this season, hasn't he? He was a bit passive last season. But it's good. I like the way he steps out, you know, like really tries to clear things up, be proactive, be on the front foot as a defender. That's what you want to see.
Well, this is it. And yeah, it was a bit of a risk that your centre-back is pressing from the front, don't get me wrong. But I liked it. I liked that aggression. And I thought he's very good defensively. I know he scored, but I don't think it was his fault. Very good defensively. On the ball, he's very good. Yeah, he's been very good recently, and I can't knock him for it. I know I haven't always been his biggest fan, but he has been very good, and we do look a lot more solid with him and Trev as the 2 centre-backs. So defensively, we're going in the right direction, definitely, and I feel a bit more... set pieces aside, I think in open play, I think we're a lot more solid now than we have been in the past couple of years. And that could be due to Maresca, it could be due to Colwell getting better and developing, it could be due to Trev developing and Kigreda and so and so. But yeah, Cole yesterday was a monster, and I just really enjoyed his performance.
I think it helps as well because of the defensiveness. When you have the possession helps, and we control the ball more than we did under Poch. You can't knock that defensive record.
True, but we only had about 30%. We only had about 30% possession yesterday.
That's Liverpool. Liverpool are going to be they're the better team. We beat them, but we got to remember that this is Liverpool. They won the title by a landslide.
Other than the Nunes header and obviously the goal they scored, I can't really remember any real clear
Salah
chances.
had a header, I think.
But they weren't.
No, he was so quiet.
Yeah,
Salah played.
I know it didn't look like it because he was shockingly poor for his standards.
I don't think anyone's made Nkunku a winner, but like he should be an honorary winner because he locked up Salah and made him look ordinary.
You're not wrong. I expected more from Mo Salah because he's been this season. You'd say he's a Ballon d'Or contender, if not one of the standouts to win it.
Locked up by a poodle.
It was just an absolute afternoon. I mean, he registered 1 shot. And he didn't complete a single dribble. And he was dispossessed. And he missed his... he lost a possession. I got a stat here. A total of 18 times. Mo Salah. It's insane. That. That's not the Chelsea version of Mo Salah. That's Liverpool's Mo Salah. Wild. Absolute wild. But hey, that's what happens when, you get outclassed by Enzo Maresca's Chelsea. So we move to losers. And, oh, man.
Hang on. I had one more winner.
You've got... broke the rules there. I should just move to losers.
It's 3-3, except when it's not, and not is now. Last one is last one's opportunity. Because I think we now it's in our hands now with the Champions League. It's a really, really close race, and the running's not easy. But yesterday, we took a massive step in the right direction to securing Champions League qualification, and it's in our hands, but we need to go and make sure that we actually then go and get Champions League now, though we've won a game that we weren't expecting to. Late in the run-in, there was a tough performance. it means nothing. The game against Liverpool and the result means nothing if we don't go and beat like Man United, who are having their worst season in so long. Or Forest on the final day. Hope if you don't try and get points off Newcastle, we don't deserve it. So like it's in our hands now, and we've got to take the opportunity.
I stand by what I said. This Manchester United team are fucking trash. There is no. I could see them losing every game for the remainder of the season because they're just. I watched them play. They're awful. They scored 3 goals. Yeah, they scored.
Rubbish.
I'm sorry, but 2 garbage.
And they're still going to win the
goals
Europa League as well.
That is a negative on the Premier League as a whole in the sense of the power and strength that Man United and Spurs are likely going to be the Europa League final. That's not. You could say it's good for the Premier League. No, it just shows that we're financially stronger than other leagues, and that's not healthy for competition. That's how I see that. And it's a real shame because I'd rather see a Bodo Glimt Athletic Bilbao final than Man United Spurs because they're both
Bodo Glimt final sounds class.
Oh, it's just shocking how poor Manchester United are. But you're right. Look, we're looking at the table. I look at it now. We're currently 5th. Whatever happens tonight, unless Forest score obviously 9-10 goals, they're not going to go above us on goal difference. And I know we could all criticise what results we've dropped, points we've dropped. Ipswich is an example. I think right now you forget all that and you have to focus on the last 3 games and say we're in control of our own destiny. We've got Forest, we've got Newcastle, we've got Manchester United. Some might say, I'd rather have an easier run in. I personally would rather face them 3 than say Ipswich, Leicester and Southampton because the fact that you're more likely to, we've noticed Chelsea play up to the standard or the level of who they're playing. And Ipswich have shown us exactly what happens. They're not always easy meat to feast on. I think Forest, they're on a downward trajectory of form. That's a great time to play them. Newcastle are a very good team.
That'll be a tough game.
That will be extremely tough. I'm very confident.
That's St. James's Park as well.
Yes, it is, which is a cauldron of atmosphere. It's a very tough game. However, it's in our own hands. No point going, if we do favours. No, we've got control over our own fate. And I think that's important. And we've got the momentum. 3 wins on the bounce now in the league.
Yeah.
I'm very happy.
Sure. Yeah.
Man United.
What do you think, Berth? Is it in our hands?
I don't know because Newcastle, it's still, to be fair, we can still finish second, which is crazy.
That's mad, isn't it?
Do you know what's mental?
That is so crazy.
Do you know what's mental? Villa could still finish second.
Yeah, and I don't think anything is in anyone's hands at the moment, and that's how close it is. We've got the hardest running by far, and that's not an opinion.
We've taken a big dent in that though, with the game yesterday, haven't we?
Newcastle's the one for me. In Newcastle, if we can get a point from them and then beat Man U, I think we're sound. But Newcastle's a game where if I was to pick one to lose, I think that's one we will lose.
We'll see.
But yeah, it's so unpredictable at the minute. Anything could change because Newcastle's still got to play, I believe, Arsenal as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big game. That's at the Emirates, and Arsenal won't want to lose that. So it's anyone's game, really. It's in no one's hands for me.
Yeah. Arsenal have got Newcastle and Liverpool to play, so that'd be interesting. Right, losers. Right, so losers, as I said, and my first loser, oh dear.
Nicholas Jackson.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I have to be fair, though. He just wasn't at it against Liverpool. Not in the game, and definitely not onside. Look, I'm going to give him some credit. He was up against Virgil van Dijk. He is arguably one of the Premier League's all-time great defensive players. Liverpool, we're not the biggest fans of Liverpool FC. However, we have to give credit. Van Dijk is that good. So it wasn't going to be an easy game. And let's be real, Van Dijk didn't force him offside 4 times. That was on Jackson's poor positioning. I can't be too. I've got to be nice. I can't lie, and it did kill momentum in some key moments. And I've got a stat here. It's not good. Chelsea were flagged offside 6 times. 4 of those were his. His XG was 0.11. His expected assists was 0.01. Might as well just round those both down to 0. Look, he might still develop into a proper striker, like a proper consistent 20 plus goals a season striker. He really might. this performance for me was a bit of a flashing red sign. We have to upgrade at striker this summer. It's not a debate. It's an absolute must.
I thought he was. Well. No, look, he's on mine, but he's just had 2 very good games for us after injury.
He has.
Yeah, Everton and Djurgarden got a few goals, and he's done all right.
He is just that sort of player. He's still very raw. I don't think he's the complete number 9. I don't think he's ever going to get 20, 25 goals a season. But yesterday he was shocking, and he was. But he's still a very useful player to us. And I know it's about Lavia makes us a better team when he's in the squad. Jackson makes us a better team when he's in the starting 11 as well. And that is a fact. So like, whenever he's, I mean, can't remember how long exactly he was out for, but he definitely is a better player when we're in the team. He's in the team, sorry. So
yeah, I mean, we have more of a focal point with. Hey, if you want to see a shit striker, Darwin Núñez. I love that header was nowhere near on target.
Yeah, you knew really bad,
and you knew it wasn't going anywhere near either.
He does. What an awful. I'm sorry, but he's a Premier League winner, and I'm just like there.
He is indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the world's not fair.
No, it's not.
Jackson was a loser for me as well, and yeah, it's like you say, just stay on side, mate. If he stayed on side in the first half, we could have been 3-0 up because he would have won a penalty, and we got Noni's goal as well. That was chalked off, and there's no reason not to have just blown Liverpool away in that way, and it's sloppy. You know, like you're a striker, and you're a quick striker at that, Nico. You don't need a yard on someone. You don't need a yard on a defender. You can go and beat them yourself, but he's got to get his timing right. And there was one in particular where he was like on the wing, and that's really unforgivable when you go offside from there because you can see the whole way down the line. There's and you know if you're offside when you're on the wing. So yeah, he needs to sort that out pronto for me because it's not good for when your striker's offside so much.
I think what blew my mind as well, talking to Jackson with the penalty, that Alisson challenge. I know someone's going to say, yeah, but it was offside, so it's not a red card. Yeah, I understand that. I'm not that silly. However, that was a really reckless tackle.
Yeah, it was bad.
I would be very curious. Yeah. I mean, that's a red card if it's obviously onside.
If it's onside, it's a red. It's definitely a red. No doubt about it.
I know the play's dead, but that's still it shouldn't matter. That should be a yellow card at least for the challenge because even though it's technically after the whistle, you've still committed the challenge. I just felt that was ridiculous, and no one made a comment about that.
I think it'd be harsh to send him off for it. To be honest,
I think it should have been a 5-game ban. Yeah, just simple as that. He had zero comeback. It had zero repercussions because it was offside. Okay.
Yeah.
Berth, who's your second loser?
Madueke. I thought he was poor yesterday, to be honest with you. And I like Madueke.
I thought he had a few good moments, though.
Yeah, very, very, very poor, I thought, in the final third. He had a few nice little tricks here and there, ran out of defenders, was a bit of a threat, but I don't think... He didn't play awful, don't get me wrong, but I thought he was just a bit... I wanted more from him. I thought there was far too many sloppy mistakes in there, times where he could have played someone in. That final ball was a bit off, shot when he should have passed. It was just a few things like that sort of was annoying me a little bit from him. But he's a great character. And I don't know if you two watched the end of the game where him and Palmer were just looking at the big screen, and I think Madueke said, "Oh, fucking hell," at one point, and then he apologised to the camera. Like, that was really wholesome. And I do like Madueke, but I just thought he was very, very frustrating during the game. So
he's good when since they've inverted the Pedro Neto and Madueke. Madueke is very good on that left-hand side.
I like him on the left.
You know what? He made that. You know, Trent, he's decided to go to Real Madrid. Probably that in performance in itself was like, Madueke cooks me. He did.
To be honest, there was a point where
there
was a point where he basically sent him to Madrid. If you saw, like on the sideline where he let the ball run over him and through his legs, or what was it? And Trent was left in the dust.
Yeah, I was actually, I've got to give credit there. I was impressed by how Madueke cooked Trent all game. He was very good against Trent.
I don't know. I don't think it's wrong to make him a loser because I think he was sloppy in moments, but I actually thought his performance was pretty good, all things considered, yesterday. I think if the rest of the team has an average performance, I don't think he stood out. I don't think he would have stood out as much in terms of like what his performance gave. But I think it's just because everyone else was so good.
Yeah. Second loser, Ollie.
Second loser for me was overreactions. Because I think I know I'm going to be the bad guy here.
Oh no.
Because as much as we can get, we can get excited about having beaten Liverpool, who are a big team, in a big game when we're pushing for something important. They are also they did just win the title. I think if they still needed 3 points to win the title, I'm not sure the game would have gone quite the same way. And that's no indictment on us. Again, we have to play what's in front of us. We happen to play a Liverpool team that was at least partially on the beach, even though they did have a lot of other good players. They had 4 of their best players in Alisson, Van Dijk, and Salah, and God knows who else. So and Trent. So they had they did have a strong team still. But I don't know. I just want to take a step back to say, like, one win doesn't necessarily change anything. We've got 3 wins on the bounce now. Does that change something? Maybe. But at the same time, I just want to say, like, let's not get carried away. We've still got a really tough run in for the end of the season. We need to be picking up points in pretty much every game if we want to guarantee that Champions League position. So, yeah, let's just not get carried away and be like, oh, we can beat anyone, and this is all amazing and that's all amazing, because there were still things about the game which weren't perfect, and and that's the same with every game, and you can always improve. And yeah, I think it's just important not to get too carried away now.
Yes, that's a fair point.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
My final loser, my second and final loser, the Guard of Honor narrative. This is
thank you.
Well,
this wound me up. Yeah,
this
well done.
might be the biggest non-story I've seen the media cling to in my 6 years of podcasting. Teams that now that I'm sure Sky Sports, if they don't know, Talk Sport, Sky Sports, other sports, you might not know, but teams have done this for decades. Decades. It's tradition. It's respect. It's routine. And yet here we are. It's 2025, and somehow it's headline-worthy material.
Well, you got to get a story out of it sometimes, because stories mean clicks, and clicks mean money.
You saying about stories, Sky Sports, this is the best part for me. They asked both managers, they asked Slot and they asked Maresca before the match how they felt about it, as if Chelsea clapping for a rival is the end of the world. That's not reporting. That's not reporting. That's fishing for drama. Because I can tell you, most fans don't care. Rival clubs have done it for Chelsea. Rival clubs have done it for Chelsea. We've done it for them. It's not that deep. Move on.
It's just respectful, isn't it? It's just like it's just a pat on the back. It's like a well done.
Didn't hurt anyone yesterday, apart from Liverpool.
Yeah,
I just don't get why the media were pushing it. I've never been so bored as someone was like off. It's like, come on, grow up. Yeah, who's got some losers left? I've got none now, obviously.
I've got one left.
Go on, Beth.
Fans on Twitter that slagged us off when we
I was happy.
Yeah, when you have an opinion and give credit where credit's due, they moan about us. And when we slag someone off on their shit, they moan about us. So you know what? So all the fans that are on Twitter that do that, you know who you are. Fuck off and don't listen to us.
Oh dear! Look! I will be.
And that's my final loser.
Opinions are like arseholes, man. Everybody's got one.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of arseholes on Twitter.
Look, all I'm gonna say is that at the start of that game, I said Chelsea are going to win this 3-1. What did we do? We won 3-1. Did I think it was going to happen? Clearly, I did.
No.
You know what?
The thing is, we live rent free in so many people's heads. So you know what? Thanks for giving us more attention and more publicity. I thought, absolute idiots.
Look, I thought we'd win. I was confident because of the fact I knew Liverpool would be. Once you've got the title, you don't need to try as hard.
You don't play the same. You just don't.
Because you've got no end game. You've already achieved the title, and it's a bit different. You could say, well, what about the Chelsea women? Well, they've got something to achieve. They've got the unbeaten season to achieve.
And also, they were worse against Spurs after we won the title.
That is a very very correct point. So, yeah, I can't be unhappy at a 3-1. I mean, Ollie, any losers left for you?
No, I'm all out, mate.
Emojis. I dropped fire because we are on some hot form right now.
Oh, I've got the opposite. I've got the cold one because cold Palmer in it.
Oh, nice. I haven't gone with something temperature related. I went with the treadmill because I feel like we've got to keep this running now.
And you know what? You actually, Ollie, you could argue that his temperature was not loud because I was on the treadmill yesterday and I got really warm at one point.
So. I bet you look hot on the treadmill, Bert.
Well, I can assure you, Ollie, I don't.
I could have had the. I decided to remove the shit emoji because shit happens, you know.
I do like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Look, we are now moving to our next seg. Lion of the week. Let's have a look at our picks. Oh, Chris Caicedo, you've won, Chris. But the wheel went with the Cole wheel. I went with Jackson. We don't need to talk about that.
Oh dear. You really did pick the only player who probably had an underperformer.
Who man of the match? Man of the match. Who got it?
Man of the match was Palmer.
It was Palmer. Yeah, it was Palmer.
Yeah, Palmer's a good shout.
I think Palmer did deserve it, but Chris definitely won that one.
Chris is definitely getting Caicedo. So I guess we're gonna head to midweek match preview as we welcome Djurgarden to the bridge in the Conference League. The scoop, it's exactly the same as last week, listener. Quick rundown. They finished 5th in the Conference League. They beat Paphos FC. They beat Rapid Vienna in the previous rounds. They lost to us last week 4-1. I've got a new player spotlight though. Isaac Mlugeta. Remember him from last week? Watch him. You know our scouts are. So right, who are we expecting to take the crown for Lion of the Week? Because I think this will be a different team again.
I think we'll rotate quite heavily.
Yeah, I'll go Tariq George again because it's a safe bet.
It is a very good.
Can I go for a bit of an out there one?
Go on.
Reggie Walsh.
Wow, I like that. I was tempted by that, you know.
He came on in the last game, almost scored a spectacular.
Yeah.
At 16 years old, I reckon he's a winner if he gets on the pitch.
You know what? I've just seen a fact for you. I've seen a fact for you whilst Mark is doing the wheel. Walsh wasn't actually born when John Terry missed that penalty in Moscow against Man U.
Oh, that makes me feel so old.
How about that?
The wheel.
I'm twice his age, pretty much.
Jesus.
Who do I pick? He might not play. You know what? I'm going to go back to back. I'm going to go Sancho. It won me last time. I'll pick it this time, Sancho. The wheel went with Tosin. Now, I love the
He probably will play.
He'll play. I would rather him. He might score. Actually, didn't he score like 2 goals in one game?
Yeah, earlier in the season. Was that in the Conference League as well?
It probably was.
I think it was. Yeah, so, he's got every chance.
We'll move to Quaresma's questions. And Chris B on the Discord asked, if you did your player rankings today, we'll be doing them post-season before the Club World Cup. I want to say that. If you did them, though, today, would Lavia be top 5? I think there's a case for it based on how much better we play when he's on the pitch. I know Palmer, Caicedo and Enzo would be ahead of him, and probably Kukurea too, but I'm not sure I can find another player. Maybe Jackson.
Ooh,
I think Jackson probably does go ahead of Lavia for me, but I think if he's not 5th, he's 6th.
If Lavia plays 38 games and stays fit, he would be top 5 any day of the week. But he doesn't. He doesn't, so I can't put him top 5.
Yeah, but the question is today, based on the squad today.
Based on it today,
no, I can't.
You can't justify it, I think. Not just off like a handful of games.
Really? I would say he is top 5. He'd be on the 5th spot.
You can't
because
put him
if you remove, I'll put it this way. If I told you for the remainder of the season, 3 games, you can either have Lavia or Jackson fully fit, I would choose Lavia.
Yeah, but he won't. No, Jackson.
That's not the question, though, is it?
But he won't
That's not the question. You have to pick one of the 2. Fully fit.
Yeah, but if you'd have asked me that like last week, I probably would have said Jackson because Jackson just scored a winner. So I've had Jackson throughout the whole time. So I'm going to say no to Lavia. Lavia is unbelievable, and I love Lavia, but I'm not having top 5 at the minute. I can't justify it.
I agree with you, Burke. I'm with you, mate.
Right. NJ Brandt, do we really risk getting another manager for next season? Risk mid-table again? I think it depends where we finish top 5. I don't.
I think we'll keep him.
I also think we'll keep him.
I think you have to ignore all the media talk about will he stay or will he not, or he's guaranteed to stay. Because look, we had this with Pochettino. He's going to be in talks with the summer, blah, blah, blah. And he was sacked. Well, he weren't sacked. They mutually agreed to part. I just would say focus on the rest of the season. And if he makes top 5, he has to stay. He's achieved the goal. I get when Chris said about paper over cracks. He's not here to defend it. However, I understood his point. It doesn't mean I agree with it. I understand it. And you can't, for me, you can't sack a manager who's met his targets. That's sacking an employee who's met the quota for the month. That's stupid.
And he has got more points. He's on exactly the same points as what Pochettino got last year. And
for me, the target Maresca had, we believe, it flip-flopped all season. However, it was Champions League. Cool. If he makes Champions League and you sack him, I just think it's bad. I think it's bad.
Yeah,
taste.
yeah.
It's
just like
it was like the Dan. Yeah, go on.
I think if he gets Champions League, I think it would be quite a difficult thing to sack him.
Yeah.
I think because it would be the first time we're back in the Champions League in however many years, and all of that stuff. So I feel like, I don't know. For me, I think he probably, I think it almost comes down to the last few games of the season. To be honest, if we play the last 3 games of the season like we played against Liverpool, I don't see any reason why he should go.
Yeah.
It's the logic of, I look at, well, the target was Champions League. If he gets top 5, he stays. It's like the Daniel Farke saga. That's obviously been concluded now. He's staying. However, when I was reading that he might get fired if Leeds get promotion and win the title, I was just like, that's bad taste. You can't sack a manager who's achieved what the target.
What's the point? What is the point?
He's achieved. If someone achieves a target, you can't just sack them. It's bad taste, because then it just sets a precedent for the future. That's a standard. Even if you win whatever, or you achieve what we've set you, we still might bin you off. I'd rather not start that at Chelsea. I mean, Carlos got sacked for being second. I'm guessing his target was win the league. So, right.
I think you're right.
Right, end of show game. We're going to wrap it up with 20 questions. I've got a player. And
come on, Bert. We're good at this.
This duo have got to ask me yes or no questions, narrow it down. They've got 20 questions, figure it out. And they did.
Who was it last week? Who did we get last week?
Goalkeeper? Was it a goalkeeper?
It was Joe Hart.
It was Joe Hart. It was Joe Hart. So,
all right.
Here we go.
Go on, Buff.
Oh, I'll go first then. Okay. Have they played in the Premier League?
Yeah, they have. They have.
Are they retired?
No.
Still playing. All right.
Do they play for the top 6 teams? One of the top 6 teams?
Right now?
Yes.
No, they don't play for a top 6
but the way you answered that, they have in the past.
Maybe they did, yeah.
Maybe,
I didn't say that. I just asked the question.
No, but, Ollie,
I'm going to go with, are they still playing in the Premier League?
No.
Formerly in the Prem, at a big club, probably.
Are they European?
No.
Ooh, okay. Is it a striker?
No, not a direct. No, not a number 9.
Again, Ollie, just read it on that, like not quite the can play there, but sounds of it.
No, they
like
can't. You would not play this player as a striker. You wouldn't play him as a striker.
Maybe a second striker or like an attacking false
Are they? South American?
No.
Damn.
Are they playing in Europe?
Right now, no.
Have they won a World Cup before?
Most certainly not.
This is hard. We got to work out maybe where they're from might help.
I'm thinking Africa.
Is it an African player?
They are from the continent of Africa. Yes.
Right. Right. Okay. Have we established what league yet? We haven't, have we?
No, we haven't worked it out. So far, they played in the Premier League. They're not in the Prem now, and they don't play in Europe now.
Okay, just putting this straight out there. Do they play in the Saudi league?
No.
I was thinking someone. No, Sadio Mane there. But...
I'm not sure. I really don't know. Okay, they're from the continent of Africa. Are they from the southern half of Africa?
Fuck's sake.
Ollie,
I've gotta
I
get-
don't know where the southern half of like what
Yeah,
countries
fucking
they are.
map out then. And
I'm
look.
getting a map out right now because I'm awful with geography. Let's have a look.
It might help.
Mikey, can you tell me what countries they are as well, by the way?
In the southern of Africa, there's like 15 of them.
Yeah, so tell me them. So I know.
I'm still bloody looking. Let's have a look. I hate this.
You need me to
No,
get a
they're
map
not. They're not Southern Africa. Not Southern Africa.
Right.
Ollie, can you now tell me what Northern African teams there are, please?
It's places
Yeah.
like Libya, Morocco, Mauritania, Libya, Somalia, Chad,
Wow.
Algeria, that kind of thing.
Wow. Oh, okay. Okay, right. Here's a question. Have they played for more than one team in the Premier League before?
I believe. Let me just. Yes, they have.
Come on, Ollie. Think
Oh,
here.
okay. I think I'm going to narrow it down here. Are they from Nigeria?
No.
Oh,
He's got 14th question.
they?
Weren't the best.
Are they from Algeria?
No.
Oh, no. Ollie, we've wasted two
That,
questions there.
you're being dangerous now.
Stupid.
Dangerous
Stupid.
territory.
oh, I don't know. Here's one. Have they played for Chelsea?
No.
Oh, we might lose today, bro.
16.
Right, we haven't figured out what league they're in yet either. We're in. Right.
But they're not playing in Europe. They're not playing in South America.
No, they're not from those continents.
But they're definitely not playing in Europe, and they're not playing in the Saudi league. I think we said.
No, I thought we said they're not European, but we haven't established they're playing in the European leagues, Mikey, or not. That's not one of my questions.
No, I asked that. I said, are they playing in Europe now?
Right.
Mikey
Okay,
said
so they're
no.
not. Okay. Right. Fair enough. This is really hard. Right. Are they playing in the MLS?
They are indeed. I will be fair and say they're on loan in the MLS.
Right.
I felt that's a fair thing because otherwise, yeah. Which I feel like for me, I'm not. That's me being cocky. I'll be like, I know that because of I'm like an MLS aholic. I'm like, not many loan players in the MLS.
Oh. I think I might know it. Ollie, ask another question, but I think I might know it.
Okay. Going for Africa. Think of Africa.
I think I might know it.
Are they from Tunisia?
No.
Has this player played for a London club before?
Yes, they have.
I think 19.
19. Oh,
go for it, Beth.
I think I know it.
You do get to guess it. It is. Yeah.
Is it Wilfred Zaha?
Yeah, and
yes, come on.
And played for Palace, Manchester United in the Premier League, and Cardiff City in the Premier League on loan. I'd forgotten about that.
He's in the Turkish league now, isn't he?
He's playing for Galatasaray, but he's currently on loan at Charlotte FC.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know he was on loan in the MLS.
Yeah, I thought he was.
Can you name me the manager of Charlotte FC?
It's gonna be someone. Is it someone we've heard of, and it's just something stupid?
Oh yeah, I would read you the clubs. Their last club was Leicester City, then Norwich, Villa, Brentford, Warsaw.
I don't know. It was like Wolfgang Wolf or something.
Ricky van Wolfswinkel.
No, it's Dean Smith.
Dean Smith.
Oh, it is.
Dean
Yeah,
Smith.
Yeah, it's Dean Smith. Isn't it?
I love it. It's just the most random. I was like, oh yeah, it's amazing.
Remember him?
You remember him. Listeners, we're at the end of our episode. Thank you as always for tuning in. And before we go, proud to remind you of our partnership with Head in the Game, the mental health charity using football to support wellbeing in the community. Check them out, headinthegame.co.uk. Treat yourself well because we'll be back on Friday with winners and losers from Djurgarden. So we'll see how that second leg plays out. So till next time, that is us signing off. You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.